I thought that it would be fun to do a first contact tag. A story about a demon that is terrorizing this planet. The fact that there was a vampire on board just kind of blew my mind. Name a book in which time travel backfires. And the fact that humans have this tendency to want to intercede in the natural order of evolution and life. So this is a tag, so you know what to do. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Brenda, and this is Reading by Myshelf. So if you are like me, and if you follow me, I assume that you are, in that you love science fiction and fantasy. Well, one of my favorite sci-fi plots is dealing with first contact with aliens. So I thought that it would be fun to do a first contact tag. I created this tag, and there are 8 questions. Let's get into it. The first question, language. Normally a barrier in first contact. Name your favorite work of translated speculative fiction. For me, I put The Three-Body Problem by Liu Cixin. This book is based on a secret military project that sends signals into space and establishes contact with aliens. And an alien civilization on the brink of destruction captures the signal and plans to invade the Earth. Meanwhile, on Earth, different camps start forming and planning to either welcome these superior beings or to help them take over a world seen as corrupt, or to fight the invasion. I read this book a few years back and I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was a little bit hard to get into as far as the prose, but once you settled in and started to follow what was going on, it was really a great story. And I have not continued in the series yet, though I do plan to. I bought the 3-book box set. So yeah, The Three-Body Problem. Actually, they are making this into a series, I believe, on Netflix. So stay tuned for that. The next question, colonization. The process of settling among or establishing control of an area or planet. Name a book with a planet or environment that you would want to colonize. So for me, I chose the novelette Elder Race by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I thought this little novelette was so fun and interesting. What I thought was going to be more of a fantasy read actually ended up being very sci-fi and not what I expected at all. And I love that. I love when a book takes my expectations and turns them on their head. So this is the story about a demon that is terrorizing this planet, this land. And now there's a princess that always feels like she's in the way. I think she's a princess or the daughter of like the ruling family. And she understands that the only way to save her people is to invoke a pact between her family and this elder sorcerer who inhabits the local tower. And so she, using her bloodline, she goes to the sorcerer's dwelling place and wakes him up. Apparently he is forbidden to help, but because of his knowledge of science, it tells him that this threat cannot possibly be a demon. So you get the 2 perspectives of this young princess and this elder scientist sorcerer person. Seeing it from both perspectives is really intriguing because they are so vastly different. On one hand, the sorcerer, the elder, he knows that he relies on science. And so from their perspective, because there is no science in this world, it's like the early days of human civilization on Earth, in which things were blamed on witchcraft and sorcery instead of understanding the basic fundamentals of science, in which this elder person does. So it's an interesting twist, and it was a really fun read, a really fast read. I recommend. Number 3, technology. Name a speculative fiction that has the most unique technological advances, even if they hit way too close to home. So for this, I chose my favorite book, The Howling Dark by Christopher Rocchio. This book takes place mainly on the planet Vergosis, in which Hadrian is hoping to find a way to contact the Sealson. So he comes face to face with not only these aliens that he's seeking out, but also with other creatures that were once human but are now they have been altered by technology. So these alterations that they have made to themselves make them almost monstrous to him in his perspective, and it is certainly an eye-opening read that kind of puts our current technological advances in a different light. And I found that really interesting, the way that Rocchio was able to pull some of those familiar advancements that we are making and kind of turn them on their head and give you like the darker side. He is really good at doing that. Number 4, Special Gifts. A sci-fi novel that blends supernatural creatures and space / first contact. So for this, I chose Blind Sight by Peter Watts. I feel like this is an obvious choice. If you're not familiar, this is a story about a space probe that hears whispers from a distant comet. So then, humans send this crew on a mission to meet the alien and to find out what they want. And among the crew, there is a linguist with multiple personality disorder, a biologist so spliced with machinery that he can't feel his own flesh. There is a pacifist warrior and a vampire recalled from the grave by the voodoo of paleogenetics. So this was a really interesting mashup of a space opera story. Like the fact that there was a vampire on board, just kind of blew my mind. I thought that it was super appealing to me in that aspect. I love the idea that humans, can kind of commingle with these supernatural beings in space. It was a really good read. If you have not read it, I recommend it. I think that he is a classic sci-fi author. Number 5, Parallel Universes. Name a book which takes place in a parallel universe that you recommend or need to read ASAP. So for this, I chose The Gods Themselves by Isaac Asimov. I own this book, is on my shelves, and I hope to get to it soon. But it won the Nebula Award in 1972 and the Hugo Award in 1973. It is about a race of aliens that inhabit a parallel universe with different physical laws to this one. And their universe is dying, and by exchanging matter with Earth, the aliens acquire an alternative source of energy. However, the exchange of physical laws that also provides Earth with energy will result in serious trouble for us and our sun. So yeah, it sounds really, really good, and I've heard a lot of great things about it. Hazel's in here. What are you doing, baby girl? Question number 6, time travel. Mankind has dreamt of the possibilities of time travel for ages. Name a book in which time travel backfires. For this, I chose Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This is a story in which a man wakes up in a world that is similar to his own, but not the one that he knows. His wife is not his wife, his son was never born, and he's not an ordinary college physics professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. So I thought that this was a really fun adventure story. It's sci-fi in the fact that there's time travel and technological advances, but it takes place on Earth, and it is a kind of fast-paced adventure of the main character trying to figure out what the hell is going on and get back to his family. So it was really good, and I recommend for sure. Question number 7, peaceful or hostile? Stephen Hawking posited that, and I quote, such advanced aliens would perhaps become nomads, looking to conquer and colonize whatever planets they can reach. So name a first contact story that seems most plausible to you. For this, I chose Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Not so much because of the large, or should I say enormous, spiders, but because of the dying earth and the fact that humans have this tendency to want to intercede in the natural order of evolution and life and things like that. They like to try to play God. In this book, the last remnants of the human race left a dying earth, desperate to find a new home among the stars. Following the footsteps of their ancestors, they discover the greatest treasure of the past age, a world terraformed and prepared for human life. So in this book, humans have preemptively, they send a monkey and this concoction on to this planet to try to get them to evolve in their stead. And so that when humans make it off Earth, they have a planet that has begun the process of civilization. And so, but something goes wrong, of course. Definitely something goes wrong. So when they do collide, these two civilizations, they have to test their boundaries and figure out how to survive. Who's going to survive? Can they coexist? And who ultimately is the heir to this new Earth? It was a really weird book in a lot of senses, but it was very thought-provoking and intriguing. So you should pick it up if you have not already. Question number 8, the future. Name a first contact story high on your TBR list. So for this one, I have 2. One I don't own yet, but it is on my list to buy eventually, and the other one I do own and plan to read in April. Actually plan to buddy read it in April with Red Fury Books. So the first one is called Eiffelheim by Michael Flynn. This was published in 2007, and it is about a small town in Germany that has disappeared and never been resettled. So there's a historian and his theoretical physicist girlfriend who become interested in this, and so they go and try to find out what is happening. And I believe part of the story takes them back to the 1300s when the Black Death is kind of gathering strength and building. And yeah, so apparently there is a first contact involved in this between an alien race from a distant star when their ship crashes in the nearby forest. So that sounds really, really good to me. And then the other one that I was going to buddy read is Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. And this is about a celestial object that astronomers come across that is huge, and it's in space, and it weighs like tens of trillions of tons. And a space probe confirms that it is not a natural object. It is actually an interstellar spacecraft. So they send space explorers and other planet-bound scientists. They all go in preparation to encounter this alien intelligence. So it's like this big mystery, and I think that it sounds really good. Apparently I have it somewhere over there. Yeah, it's a short book. Let me grab it. So it's a short book, just under 300 pages. I think that it looks so good. Anyway, so this is a tag, so you know what to do. Tag a few of your friends and pass it around, and let's share some love for first contact stories, alien encounters, weird technological advances, anything and everything sci-fi, right? Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. See you again soon. Oh, and comment down below if, maybe you don't make videos, but you still want to get in on this conversation. I would love for you to offer up some new, maybe books that I haven't heard of that fit into any of these categories. I think that would be a really great way for me to discover some new great sci-fi stories. I'm always on the lookout. So drop a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Sixin. I did this last time I said this book.